When the one known as the Emperor secured his dominion over Holy Terra, he brooked no threats to his nation's imperium of man. Thus, when the kings of old were stripped of their crowns, they were likewise stripped of their progeny, that no heir may rise to succeed them. Their noble blood was drowned in the Emperor's synthetic genecraft, remaking their bodies in his image. Their memories were crushed beneath the Emperor's brainwashing, leaving only a thirst for greatness in his name. Their heritage was forgotten, that they might fill the ranks of the Emperor's third glorious legion. Yet, as the Third Legion joined the Great Crusade across the stars, they found no satisfaction. Pride gave way to hubris, perfectionism to mania, and devotion to jealousy for the Emperor's praise. Meanwhile, an altogether more tangible corruption secretly festered in their augmented bodies. The Legion's apothecaries were baffled. What manner of blight could possibly best the immaculate engineering of the Emperor himself? A toxic mutation, an alien virus, an insidious bioweapon. The awful truth proved harder to stomach. The pestilence ravaging their synthetic organs had been coded into their very gene seed. Whether by design, or perhaps worse, incompetence, the Emperor had cultivated the genome of the Third Legion to fail. Either way, their faith in the supposed perfection of the Master of Mankind was irrevocably shattered. It would be on the world of Leyrin, amongst superstitious Xenos most foul, that the Emperor's children at last found a promise of salvation. Through covert vivisection and plunder, the apothecaries discovered esoteric means to sculpt the very building blocks of life. So armed, they could not only correct the Emperor's errors, ending the blight, but open unimaginable vistas of untapped potential. Yet, the choice could not be made lightly. Indulging such perverse research, with loathsome alien science no less, would be heresy, punishable by annihilation if discovered. Then again, the Emperor demanded purity from his angels of war. If the flaws in his handiwork were revealed, they would certainly suffer the same fate regardless. The choice rested with Fulgrim, the Phoenician, scion of Chemos, the superhuman general from whom the template of the Emperor's children had been forged. Given the choice of watching his son slowly succumb in secret stoicism or survive in secret shame, the Primarch chose the latter. Thus, the true degeneration of the Emperor's children began. The toll for their tampering began subtly, but without remit. Hypno-indoctrination, already strained with resentment, gave way to swelling siren songs of intoxicating indulgence. Unmoored senses, freed of forbiddance, burned with new and insatiable desires. The mounting demands of unspeakable tastes inspired schemes of unthinkable depravity. The whisper of wild cravings inspired the invention of bizarre, new instruments of weaponized artistry. Just as the apothecaries had reshaped their genome, so too were the Emperor's children now molded by abhorrent muses beyond their ken. Their wounded hearts were filled with perversion, till every shred of the Emperor's artifice had been subsumed by the devilish designs of a new master, one whose promises of perfection were beyond reproach, a patron that offered an existence without limits, a dark prince of pleasure, a demon god whose lust for sublimity could rival their own. By the time Horus, war master and arch traitor, came to tempt his brother Fulgrim into rebellion, the matter had long been decided. Thus began the Legion's long legacy of betrayal. On Eastfawn III, they betrayed their loyal cousins, putting once beloved comrades to the blade in the infamous Drop Site Massacre. On Holy Terra, they betrayed the War Master, abandoning his siege of the Imperial Palace to distill countless civilians into heinous narcotics. Exiled to the Eye of Terror, they betrayed their fellow traitors, raiding and warring over slaves to feed their feverish addictions. On the ruined world of Idris, Fulgrim betrayed his very legion, sacrificing scores through vile treachery to fuel his apotheosis to immortal demonhood. Finally, the leaderless legion turned upon itself, splintering into roving warbands led only by their mad cravings. Today, the Emperor's children are lavish monsters of their own making, seeking glory and debauchery, and loyal only to their personal vices. Where they once stood in stoic pride for a secular tyrant, they now cavort and sacrifice at the feet of unholy angels. Where once they were twisted to conform to one man's ideal, they now mold their mutant flesh to embody their own definitions of beauty and power. Where once their manufactured perfection inspired the awe and wonder of countless worlds, mortals across the galaxy now shiver in terror at the sound of their mocking cry, unchanged through all the ages.